Hey, good morning, everybody. So let's see what we have here. I got into the office early, and it's funny. I distracted myself with a bunch of other things to look at uh, instead of getting to the large caps. I've only got a couple small caps here. I'll go over the momentum trades first. So CYTH is popping up pre-market, and the reason that I have CYTH up here, pardon me, the reason that I have CYTH as on watch is it's up pre-market, but right now it is up 18% pre-market, which, I mean, it's 18%. I mean, usually on the pre-market watch, with the small cap momentum, it's going to be up 50+%, from its previous close. These warrants are popping up, the CYTHWs, and when the warrants pop up, usually the underlying stock pops up as well. So obviously it's popping up. The warrants are popping up by 50%. The stock is up by 11%. So it's on watch. I don't know if I'll trade it. I mean, I'm going to just kind of watch what it does over the course of the morning. If it gives a momentum setup, then I'll give it a shot. I'll keep the stops tight, keep the risk low. I'll probably trade 1,000 shares, and average into 1,000 shares, and I'll see if it does a gap and go, or if it sells off and then finds support, and so on and so on. So I could probably put some support levels on here. So the first obvious support that we can put on here is yesterday's close. So if it comes down to fill the gap, opens here, fills the gap, and moves back up again, then that will be a trade. Then the next, there's some levels in here, and it looks like we've got kind of a level back here, and another one here, and then another one here. It's all in a fairly tight range. I really think when a stock gets close to $10, it's magnetic. It becomes sort of like a goal. So I think that the stock will probably break 10 today. It's just a guess. I have no evidence for that other than it's getting close to $10. And so the sort of like 1050 area. There's not a lot here to trade against definitively, like, yes, this is the entry, this is the exit. So I'm just gonna have to see. The pre-market volume is fairly light. We've got, I don't know, it looks like probably around 100,000 shares traded in the pre-market. If I were to add it all together, it'd probably be somewhere maybe 70,000. I don't know. Let's look real quick. Okay, so 387, 3,900. So we'll call that 4,000. 100. There's another 5,000 traded. Sort of 10,000, 17,000. Call that 47,000. Then we'll add that. We'll call that 60, 70,000. 78,000. Then we'll call that roughly 90,000, 95,000, 100. We'll call that 107 or 127,000, 140,000, 150,000, 153,000, 160,000, 165. So roughly 170,000 shares are traded pre-market this morning. So it looks like we've got a little level here at 902 for support and resistance in the pre-market and post-market. So last night it closed down here at 823. Post-market it went up to roughly $9, and then played around $9, and then after everything was said and done in the post-market, it finished at 943. So it looks like $9 is, it's an even round number. I'll put it on for support if it creeps down there. Then 1050s, I think it's going to be more like 10. So I'm just going to leave. I'm going to leave the upper ones alone. Then OTLK. Now OTLK isn't really a stock that the price is too low, but I've got it on watch. If it makes it over $2, I might start trading it. It's let's see. I don't have it. It's not on my. So I don't know what the volume is doing right now on OTLK. It's currently selling off a bit as it gets a little bit closer to the open. We've got about 25 minutes to the open. Let's see here. So yeah, so those are the small cap momentum. So there's not a lot going on. I've got the scanner open, the Trade Ideas scanner is open, and AACG just popped up. So let's see what's going on with AACG. Okay, for some reason it just showed up on my scanner, but it looks like it's been making moves since 4:30 this morning. Let's see what the news is. November the 12th is the last time there was news on it. So I don't know what's going on here with this thing. Let's take a look at its history here. Okay. So ATA Creativity Global sponsored was that American Deposit something represents each share represents 2 ordinary shares. Looks like a pretty steep fall in revenues. No earnings. 32 million share float. All right, well, it's on watch. We'll keep an eye on it. If it starts hitting the scanner, then maybe I'll start trading it. All right. So for large cap movers, I've got like one really that is interesting. First Energy on a pullback. All right, well, let's put a couple levels on it here. This is the 1 minute. Let's put it on the 10 minute. Put an alarm. Put an alarm. Let's see. Earnings. Energy, I really like energy in the environment we're in right now. First Energy Corporation reached settlement with OAG cities with respect to temporary restraining order preliminary injunction request on January 31st. What? First Energy Corp on January 31st reached settlement with OAG cities with respect to OAG cities. What are OAG cities? With respect to temporary restraining order, preliminary injunction request. First Energy Corp expects to set Ohio company's remaining rider CSR regulatory asset balance of about $110 million to zero. remaining rider CSR regulatory asset. So, Ohio companies filed an application on February 1st, 2021 with PUCO to set their respective decoupling riders to 0. I have no idea what any of that means. Hey, well, all right. So, I guess we can do some research here. Let's research it. Go to the Google. Let's see. AOG cities. AOG cities. It says something about Ohio. Ohio AOG cities. Assemblies of God? I have no idea. I have no idea what any of that means. Well, I put levels on it before, down there, around 28 and so forth, and energy's catching a bid. They had to write something down from 110 million to 0 on their assets. It looks like expects to set Ohio company's remaining rider CSR regulatory asset balance of about 110 million to 0. So their balance sheet is taking a $110 million hit. That's got to hurt. I don't know. I don't know what the deal is with that. Maybe I won't trade it. So that's on February 2nd. That's old news. February 3rd, February 2nd. And it's just pulling back a little bit pre-market. $32 even, $31.20, $31.20, $30.75. All right, well, it's not pulling back too terribly. Let's see. And I mean, there are a whole bunch of things moving. Yeah, so one nice thing, a really nice thing, DraftKings. Got a couple hundred shares of DraftKings. It's up a couple bucks pre-market. That's nice. It looks like it's going to try and make a push through its all-time highs here. 64.19. So it's hanging around, the highs. So we'll see if it can make it now. BILI is definitely. This has been a beautiful move here. So BILI right now pre-market is over this 144.46 high. I have 150 shares of this that I got into it. I have an average of $120 per share. So I got into it on this day. Right here after it bounced up from this level. I had levels on it before. So, I mean, this at 120 per share for 150 shares. So, it's doing okay. From 120 to 150, and 150 shares, it's respectable. It's, it's not going to, I'm not going to be able to retire on it or anything, but it's respectable. So, all right. Let's save this here, and then I'll open up my windows and get started for the day. Take a look at the SPY. We'll take a look at the dollar as well. If you get the dollar right now in the environment that we're in, if you get the dollar right, you get the motion of the market right. And I think that we are. No, thank you. Trading View. Yeah, I might have to change subscriptions from Trading View to another charting platform. It's not bad. I mean, I only pay, I don't know, I think it's $30 a month or something. I bought a year subscription in advance, and I've forgotten what it comes out to, $20, $30, something like that a month. And so, I mean, it's not bad, but it does leave a little bit to be desired. All right, CYTH, OTLK, AACG. Now let's take a look at the SPY. The SPY, and then the dollar. So I want to put the dollar up on a monthly chart here. So this is the dollar on a monthly chart. And right now, what it looks like to me is that the dollar, especially with all of the printing that's going on, so the dollar's losing value, step down here, and then it's going to step down again. But right now, we're on a little bit of an up move on the dollar, and that is going to be, there are always people in the market, on the broader market, who are, screaming Armageddon, oh my God, the sky's falling. I think for the time being, as the dollar moves sideways a bit, like in this consolidation area, we're going to see the dollar move sideways to up a little bit in this consolidation area too. And eventually, I think that we're going to see the dollar, start moving down again for a short time. So there's going to be a quick opportunity there for the market to run up. And everybody seems to be expecting the same thing, this whole blow off top, everybody's bullish, everybody's waiting for the top, so on and so on. So in the next, in a monthly term, you got sort of this 1-2 couple up. There could be a little bit more consolidation. The spot to watch is going to be the top of this monthly candle right here on the DXY at the 91.869. No, wait, let's put it over here. 91.945. I think at that spot, that's when the market's making an attempt for the SPY, I should say, and that's what because there's a lot more to the market than just the SPY and so forth. But the SPY is making a push, for another push to new all-time highs. I don't think it's going to make it there yet. I think that we're going to get some consolidation up here in this zone. I mean, it's high. We're in the right market environment for the moves higher. But I think that there's some more work for the dollar to do to the upside before we really see this thrust. So the next down move in the dollar ought to correspond with an up move on the SPY. That's what I'm anticipating. And so I think there's a little bit more time. Now, I did get long a few positions right here on this Friday. And I did that in accordance with Hedge Eye's risk ranges. So, okay, anyway, that's the SPY. That's what's going on. I think we're going to see some sideways movement in the SPY for a while until the dollar decides to make a break in the down. And I think it's going to be a down direction. I think it's only going to be a couple, 2-3 months. We're going to see, these big moves on the dollar and big moves on the SPY. Then we've got a quad 4 coming up. According to Hedge Eye, we've got a quad 4 in Q3. which is deflationary. And so all of these things that I'm long right now, I'm going to be shorting here in the next few months, probably the next 3 to 4 months. I'll start getting into short positions. Predominantly, I'll probably have a net short portfolio. Okay, so let's see. You've got FE, CYTH, which is knocking on the door for $10. Hit 10.25 in the pre-market. I guess I could probably put that on. Let's move this line right here. Let's get rid of it. It'll be easier just to write a new one. 10.25 in the pre-market. So push past 10.25 in the pre-market. Looks like it'll be a good entry. Support looks like support is at $9, and it looks like resistance is at 10.25. So as it stands right now, there is more support to, or there's more downside than upside as the way it stands right now. That can of course change after it blasts. If the stock blasts through 10.25, then I don't know. Upside could be $11, $12. I don't know. We'll see what it's doing at the time. OTLK is kind of taking a little. It's starting to lag here. Pre-market got about 8 minutes to go until the bell. And AACG is holding up. Let's see. We'll see what this thing does at the open. And take a look at the daily here again. Got the gap, top of the gap here. I really like gaps for price support and resistance. And I'm going to change the color on these gaps so that I know. I use blue for the top of the gap, and I'll use purple. It's not, you can't really see that very well. I can't see it very well. Let's go with top of the gap. There we go. I don't know what color that is, but it's the top of the gap. Let's move this thing over here. There we go. Okay. So 337 is the bottom of the gap. Top of the gap is 402. It's currently, the price is at 367 right now, 368. So I'll put an alarm there. Put an alarm there. And we'll get an idea of what's going on when the market opens. Get an order window ready. AACG 3. Put this on the 1 minute for momentum. Let's get all of these on the 1 minute. Get all the 1 minutes up. We've got a 10 minute here. And I'll use the 10 minute for the large cap. And get an order ready. FE. Let's see, what's the cap here, actually? I don't even know if it's a large cap. I think it has to be a large cap. At least I think it would be a large cap given the scanner setups that I have. So it does 11 billion in revenue. 110 million is going to hurt. It shouldn't hurt that bad. Let's see what it does. What it did in let's see. Net income 853 million. A one-time write-down probably won't hurt too badly. It's going to hurt their next earnings statement, though. They doled out dividends today too. Okay, so yeah, then that news about DraftKings. Why are you giving me DraftKings news? This is one of the things about TradingView that I don't like. Is I've got FE up here. You can see it's FE, First Energy Corp up here. And I'm going over here to the news section. They offer this news section, but it's giving me news on DraftKings. And it's like, why? You know, why give me information on DraftKings when I want news on First Energy? And whatever that write-down was that they had for 110 million on some, I don't even remember what it is. Anyway. Okay, so there's the setup for the day. That's what I'm trading. If you're new to the channel, click subscribe. Say hello in the comments. Click like. Yeah, CYTH. See what it does. I actually prefer to see. This is up 176.5% in the pre-market. See, and it has 31.7 million share. It has a huge float. So this, what I imagine is going to happen is that there are, I don't know how many shareholders in this stock are going to wake up and see that AACG is, you know, more than doubled from its recent, I mean, over the past easily month. You know, the stock has been, the price has been pretty flat. There are going to be people who see this thing open up here, and they're going to be like, get me out of this thing. I want to, I want my money back. I'm going to take profits. And that's probably going to continue for quite a while. I think it's probably going to be about 30 minutes or so. So we'll see what this thing does. My guess is that it's going to pull back. It'll probably pull back further than 337. The top of that gap there. I mean, the news has to be fantastic for this thing. Reports Q3 financial results. It's in November. I don't know what the news catalyst is, and it's not showing up in TradingView or in Street Smart Edge. Let me check Street Smart Edge again and see if anything's popped up. No news. No news. Nothing. I don't know. All right. Take a quick look. Oh, we've got 5 seconds to the open. All right. I'm getting an alarm on something. Where's the alarm? I don't know. Trading view. Yeah, so I imagine this thing is probably going to sell off for a bit. So you got something hitting the scanner. PFIE, small stock, not interested. FE, why aren't you trading? Market's open. Hello. Okay, CYTH took off. Okay. So I'd like to see what it does at this level. If it hangs on, let's see, we've got 62,000 shares, 67,000 shares, and it's an extremely low float. AACG, you haven't hit any of the levels. Well, there it goes. All right. So I'd like to see what CYTH does with this 1025 level right here. It does have an extremely low float, which that's a good thing. 1.7 million share float. So this thing really does have the potential to squeeze, but I'm going to need a pullback. There's a great gap and go here. It opened at 10 roughly. It went to 1070, so it's a really nice gap and go. AACG is, I'll see what it does here. Okay, so 402 is the top of the gap. 424 is the pre-market high. Let's see. Yeah, so that 424 level is going to be resistance for a little bit. I did not get in on the, whoa, look at that thing go. Okay, so now maybe 450 is going to be the level to watch. CYTH is totally taking off. All right. So let's see if we can get a little pullback here. Okay, AACG is pulling back a bit. I have not taken entries on either one of AACG or CYTH. And just generally speaking, it's because I didn't play the gap and go. And so there's no pullback for me to go after on this run up. This thing is definitely on a run, and it ran way past my entry spots on a pullback. So AACG is interesting for a 30 million share float stock. It's showing pretty decent momentum. Okay, so now we're getting a pullback here. Let's see what happens at 424 if we get a bounce or not. Couldn't hold 450, so this could just be the first pullback, first area of consolidation here. And CYTH just went into a halt. So we'll see what it does coming out of the halt. Okay, AACG looks like it wants to squeeze, continue to squeeze. Oh, maybe not. 450 acted like support, and now there's a breakout here, 46 to 49 by 3 cents. So, yeah. This thing has, a high float. I mean, for momentum, it has a high float for momentum play. I think CYTH will probably be the top performer of the day. I'd like to see what it does coming out of the halt. Looking, CPSH. I traded CPSH a couple days ago. It's hitting the scanner. I made decent money on this stock. Yeah, I bought it just a little bit higher than 836, if I remember correctly, and sold at 11 something. Yeah, 1106. Now, CPSH is definitely making a move here. 2170 is a pre-market high. And we're getting a 1 minute pullback. I like to see that. Okay, so it just went it went parabolic here. And so to see it pull back, it'll give you something to trade against. AACG. What's the share size? Let's see, 13 million shares. Okay, that's okay. 13 million share float is okay. And is it squeezing? Yeah, it's squeezing into a halt. All right. All right. Pretty fast there. Was not on the ball today. So 9:35. This thing should be opening. CYTH should be opening pretty soon. Get an order ready. We'll see what it does coming out of the halt. So these things lately, momentum stocks, been a little bit tricky lately. They'll come out of their halts and sell off rather heavily. Okay, so this must be it's been more than 5 minutes, so there must be a 10-minute halt on CYTH. The week between Christmas and New Year's was really tough. On what there had to have been a lot of traders who just got hurt big time. I did a video on it. I ought to go back and look it up and see what stocks. I remember one in particular was UUU, and it was trading on momentum. Traders were in the market and bidding it up, and I think UUU triple U went up to AACG's hitting the scanner again. Definitely made it over 489. Acted well at 424 here, went as low as 410. Well, so the index, whatever the exchanges shut down trading, and there were 3 symbols that it shut down trading on. And they opened the symbols up each like 3 hours later, and the symbols opened up like $20 lower, really really low. So if you had bought triple U, if you had bought I don't know, say 1,000 shares at $25 a share, and you rode that all the way until when it halted into that 3-hour halt, you'd be up on 1,000 shares from 25 to 38, you'd be up $13,000. But then they halted the trading for 3 hours, and it opened up again at $17. And so instead of being up $13,000 next time it opens up, you'd be down 25 to 17 is $8,000. It's just like ouch. And they did it 3 times like that in that week between Christmas and New Year's on 3 different names that were like squeezing up like mad. And I don't know why they did that, but it had to have hurt. There were, usually in that week between Christmas and New Year's, anybody who's trading is going to be, a proprietary or professional trader. And so they can probably afford to take a hit like that, but still not nice, I wonder if the exchange is looking at this thing like, this is a 1.7 million share float. That's such a low float that this stock, really, it could squeeze, to really, really quite high levels. So we're going on 10 minutes here. It closed at 9:35, and we're rounding 9:45 here in about 10 seconds. 5 seconds. And so I wonder if there's going to be a 10-minute halt. I wonder how long they're going to keep it halted. We'll find out here in a few seconds. About 20 seconds to go until, if it's going to be a 10-minute halt, there's about 20 more seconds to go. There it opened. Opened significantly higher. Let's see if it pulls back. Okay. We got a pullback there. Let's see, 12.23. All right, I'm going to buy 500 shares here at 12.23. If I can get filled. I don't know if you can hear the scanner in the background or not, but the momentum scanner is going nuts. All right, it's got filled at 12.23. And now it's a bit of a waiting game. The VWAP is down here at 1131. I won't really get scared unless it breaks this this level down here. Then I'll probably just have to cut losses and move on. So the next candle, a break of 1240 would mean that there'll be a push higher at 1240. So that would be the next spot to enter. And it looks like CPSH is in a long halt too. That halted at 9:46. Oh, okay, no, it's only been 3 minutes. All right, there we go. There's a break of 1240. Let's see if that's going to be a false breakout or not. That ought to be some momentum here to push this thing up past this recent high. Looking for a break of 1340 roughly. 1339. A little bit of a false breakout there. Let's see if this thing can continue to curl up. The level 2 really slowed down after that halt. The level two, and most usually it would be like screaming. I'm gonna bail. The level two is moving so slowly. I mean, it's really like it's very strange. The level two ought to just be like just screaming. Ought to be like, I mean, the numbers ought to be like flying through. But my level two is basically really quiet. I bailed there at, let's see where I got filled. Where's the price? Well, so on 500 shares, I'm down $300 on that trade. I bailed right at about 1190. And the reason that I did that is because the level two on this thing is just not moving the way I'd expect it to move. CPSH. CPSH is pulling back from its break there, from its circuit breaker halt. Yeah, it looks like CPSH tried to squeeze into another halt there. There we go. All right. I'm in 500 shares at an average price of $28.32 on CPSH. Now it's squeezing into another halt. And CYTH just, I don't know, it's really strange. Um, the level two on this thing has just gone quiet. I mean, it went from, well, okay, it traded, its biggest candle is 166,000 shares, but still, it just fell off a cliff. Volume fell off a cliff from in the time span of 2 minutes. It went from 100,000 shares traded to only 20,000 shares traded. That's just really weird. I don't know. Something doesn't sit right with me about that. That's just really strange that it would do that. Sino is hitting, SINO is hitting the scanners. I traded that this week sometime. I don't remember what day exactly. AACG. This thing's gone from 836 to almost $30 in the past 2 days. Heavily traded, really heavily traded. CYTH. I'm glad I bailed when I did. You know, we'll see what it does down here at 1025. That's the pre-market high. That's it's definitely not what you want to see. Really strange to see volume. Just, I mean, really, like this volume profile right here. This is really weird when you open that up. Oh, brush. Here we go. See this volume profile? That's a really strange. So it went into a halt right here, 935, came out of the halt and sold off for a little bit, and then started running back up, and then all of a sudden volume just tanks like that. That's really, really weird. That's just a really strange phenomenon there. I don't know what to make of that. So 1025 looks like it's acting as support at the moment. The opportunity to take the trade is pretty much over at this point. The entry is no longer the same as what it was just a few minutes ago. So let's see. Okay, so CPSH 953, and it should open here in the next minute or so if it's going to be a 5-minute halt. There it goes, and it's selling off. All right. Oh, cool. I took profits. And now it's about to halt on the way down, it looks like. Yeah, CPSH is about to halt at 2663. Another bouncer off of 1025. I wonder if it'll hold. I don't have very much confidence in it, though. So, and this pattern's already played out. The entries were here and then here. Those are the first two pullbacks. The third pullback is usually bunk. By the time the third pullback comes around, it's usually too late. CPSH. I mean, this is so it started off kind of slow right in here, but then really took off. This I'd say technically this is really its first pullback. So there might be another opportunity on CPSH, but we'll have to wait until it makes a new 1 minute high. After all that, CYTH. So it's I don't think it's any stretch of the imagination to say that the big boys, meaning the hedge funds, the big brokerages and so forth, are delving into the penny stocks, the small cap momentum trades, because the OTC market apparently went from I don't know, what is it, 80 billion on average per month, on a monthly average in December of 20, or is it January of, January of 2020, the OTC market was trading about 80 billion per month on average. And as of December 2020, the OTC market was trading $1.1 trillion per month. So 1023 there, 1223 that is. So I don't think there's any stretch of the imagination to say that the market makers, the big brokerages, and the hedge funds are jumping in here with their big boy tactics and doing something like going from, I mean, look at this average volume, the volume here, 72, 68, 62,000, 50,000, 57,000, 64,000, 65,000, 166,000 on a sell after after it opened up after that break, after that circuit breaker halt. And it goes from 60, 70,000 or so, and 2 minutes later only trading 20,000, only trading 30,000, only trading 12,000. There's something going on here. That is super fishy. Not superficial. That's fishy. That's like really that kind of action right there. That is this fall off right here in volume. That is extraordinary. Yeah, I think so it's after 10 o'clock. And now things have gone super quiet. This is this is quite atypical. This is quite atypical. 9:58. So if this were going to open again, if CPSH were going to open again after a 5-minute halt, it would have opened at 10:03. So it's now into at least a 10-minute halt. Although I have seen stocks open at weird times, like 8 minutes and 9 minutes instead of 5 and 10. But the safest assumption right now is that it's a 10-minute halt. AACG managed to do it, managed to break through to a new high on the day. And it's well into the gap. I mean, here's the bottom of the gap that I was looking at, and here's the top of the gap that I was looking at. So CPSH ought to open up here within the next minute or so if it's going to be a 10-minute halt. CYTH is trying to climb back up to VWAP a little bit here. Put it on a 5-minute. CPSH opened back out after a 10-minute halt. I have 2170 marked off as a pre-market high. Well, there's a lot of stuff popping up on the scanner. I wonder how many traders are like chasing the scanner. You do not want to chase the scanner. CPSH is starting to roll over. I don't know. So things have changed since I started trading momentum, which has been a little bit, maybe roughly 2 years ago. Momentum, I mean, you can't really say momentum is predictable necessarily, but momentum, it's at least systematic. And the momentum game has changed. 22. It's not like it used to be even 6 months ago. The price action is different. The rule, it's like the rules have changed or something has changed. And so there goes CPSH. It's got to make it over 29, this high right here. 29.77, 13 million share float. It's working on it. If it can break 29.77, then it has higher to go. Looks like it's squeezing into another halt. Yep, just squeezed into another halt after a pullback there. Wow, let's look at this one. This thing's been popping up pretty much all morning. It was just squeezed into a halt. AACG looks like it's starting to roll over again. All right, CPSH is the one to watch. It's 10:15, so it's getting a little bit late in the morning. Over $30 there. It'll be an entry. CYTH, is it trying to make another move? I mean, so the entry was right here. on CYTH at 11:10. I don't trust it. Uh, I don't know what was going on with that volume drop off earlier, but it does not. I just don't trust it. And CPSH is open again. Here we go. There we go. All right. A little false breakout there, perhaps. Looks like $30 is resistance. Alrighty. Well, so I bought the breakout. Let's see, the high there was $30. I was in at $29.93 on 500 shares, and it instantly tanked on me. There's a false breakout right there. The game has changed on momentum. The big boys are playing in momentum. I dumped. Yeesh. Let's see. I dumped it 27.57. So yeah, there was a false breakout right here. I got in at 29.9264, 29.9264, and got out at 27.579. It is not playing. Now it looks like it's halting on the way down. I think I'm going to call it a day. That's Friday. That's let's see. That's 2 losing trades. Let's see if we can get that to show up again. Yeah, that's 2 losing trades. That's negative $1,300 on the day. Really, so I was up $5,000 on the week going, actually, let's see, 118. I was up $8,000 on the week, and now I am up $6,000, roughly $6,000 on the week. I just got my ass kicked today. The momentum game has changed, and it's not nice. So, I get to come back and do it again next week with, I kind of saw this coming, actually. So, the Reddit thing, with the increased volume on the OTC market and with the momentum plays, that's where the money is, and that's where the big boys are going to play. And they have some significant access to trading tools that the retail trader does not. The whole, like, the little guy won, beat the hedge funds kind of thing. Well, the hedge funds are pissed, and so are the brokerages, and so is everybody else who is establishment Wall Street, who operates and maintains an orderly market. And this is what we're seeing today in these trades. False breakout here, incredible volume fall off. Look at that. From at 951, 952, 953, the stock goes from trading, let's say on average, 80,000 shares a minute to down to 20,000, 30,000, and 12,000. I don't think so. There's the big boys on Wall Street are establishing their dominance, which is a good thing. You can't bitch about it. So earlier in the year, the systematic workings, the reliability of the market to perform in accordance with investors' intentions. The market, it is a place for traders. It is a place for savvy traders, for people who know how to read the market, know when to enter and when to exit, who aren't too greedy, who are just kind of like willing to accept their allowance. Like it's almost like being a child. I mean, the analogy would be like being a child where you just kind of accept the allowance that you receive for doing your chores. That's how the market works. And that's being a successful trader, is just sort of accepting it. The whole sentiment, yeah, we got over on you, Wall Street, the little guys fighting back, so on and so on. It's baloney. Phony baloney. BS. If you're not slinging, if you don't, there are people who have trillions of dollars under management, and the last thing they want is for their customers. They have a fiduciary responsibility to their clientele. Here goes CYTH a little bit here. We've got a little bit of a VWAP move. Let's see. We've got a VWAP break on the 5-minute. So confirmation over VWAP on the 5-minute there might be, but I'm done trading. So I'm gonna change. Let's close this. That's boring. I'm gonna leave this on a boring stock. There. I'm not going to trade this thing, and I'm not going to be looking at the market for the rest of the day. I'm taking my weekly winnings and I'm going home. The things have been good in the past. Apparently, if you made money in January, you're way ahead of the game, which fortunately I made money in January. February is going to be a difficult month for traders. And so it's going to be important to be, to manage risk very carefully, to trade down size, don't go up in size, go down in size. Here's CPSH open back up again, and it's rolling over. Let's see. CPSH. If I keep looking, I'm going to get sucked in if I keep looking at these things. But so what I was saying earlier is that this is a place for the market is a place predominantly for investors, and it's not a place for speculative trading. If you're going to be a speculative trader in the stock market, you better be. Everybody blows up accounts. So I started this in 2006, and I was able to open trading accounts at $500 and $1,000 back then and trade it. Not on margin, I had to trade cash, but I could trade. I could get in and out of cash positions with $1,000. So the next day, I mean, I could clear. Usually it takes 3 days, but I don't remember what brokerage I was with at the time. But they're like, "Yo, we'll clear you for trading cash on a daily basis. You can only trade your cash account." And I blew up, oh, geez, half a dozen accounts at $1,000 a piece. You know, starting out. Now they have the pattern day trading rule where you have to have at least 25,000 trade. And you really, with my account, I rarely use margin. I very rarely go into margin. My margin. I basically always trade cash. So anyway, the the big boys are coming in to clear out the weak hands in these penny stocks, small cap momentum trades, and so forth. They're coming in to wipe you out. They're coming after you. They're coming after me. They got me today. I'm down, $1,300 on the day. It's been a good week, but I've mostly stuck to large caps this week. I've only traded small caps on a couple of occasions. So definitely a really good gap and go setup right here on CYTH. I did not jump in it. At the right time at all, and would have been well off to have left it alone. So, yeah, beware out there. All right, everybody. Have a good day. If you got your butt kicked like I did today, blow it off. Go do something else with the rest of your day. Come back, next week. Work on, getting into some different setups. All right. Take care, everybody.